are you, Somu?
I'm here, Dad.
Somu! You are here, then why aren't you answering me? You know, this hot coffee spilled twice on my hand as I was coming down the steps.
Sorry. Hey, so you finally found some stuff, huh? Looks like you still have some coffee left.
Yeah, I found a jar of instant coffee and a couple of those mugs upstairs in a packing box. Your mother must have left them for us.
How thoughtful of her. Oh, hey. Your coffee tastes bad, Dad.
Is it? You are right. It's bad. Must be an old jar, you know. No, instant coffee gets stale pretty quickly.
Don't bother, Dad. I can drink it just fine. Hey, Dad. Look at this. Dad, I just found it.
Freedom at midnight. Read it?
No. It seems an interesting one, though. You know, you never told me you had this.
Somu, this book was lying here for ages. Have you ever tried to look for these books anyway?
I know.
Oh, why don't you read it? You'll get to know a lot of things.
Yeah, I was leafing through it. It's about India's independence, right? It talks about Gandhi, too.
Yeah, why don't you read the whole book? But don't just accept everything that is said. It's only a perspective. Remember, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was not the only person responsible for India's freedom.
I've heard this before. From you. So, you don't feel that Gandhi was the father of the Indian nation, right?
Many people contributed towards India's independence. Gandhi was only one of them. Yeah, the media hyped him up a bit, but that doesn't mean British left India because of Gandhi's hunger strikes and non-violence movements.
Well, isn't that typical of Bengali? I mean, the Bengalis of Kolkata don't accept Gandhi as their leader, right? Your hero was that guy in the military uniform. Subhash Chandra Bose. Kolkata airport was named after him, right?
Yeah, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He was the man, Somu. He was the man. If he had survived that plane crash, India would have been a different nation today. Somu. British granted India's independence by charity. Netaji wanted to snatch it away.
But Dad, didn't this guy join hands with a Nazi? I mean, with Hitler? Wasn't he a fascist?
Somu, don't judge a person by his actions only. You need to understand his motives and intentions too. You know, enemy of my enemy is a friend. And that is why Netaji separated from Germany. He was never a fascist.
Yeah, but Dad,
Okay, get back to packing. The movers will be here very soon.
Okay.
Enough of that.
Okay, but Dad, I'm gonna take this book and a few others I've selected back to my apartment, okay?
That's okay, but don't forget to bring them back. Okay, this goes here. Hey, Somu, can you please give me a hand here?
Yeah.
This box must be very heavy for my age, you know. Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. When did you say your classes are starting again?
Monday. And I have some exams coming up.
Oh, you okay?
Yes. Dad, why didn't you let the movers pack all these books? I mean, why do we have to do all this hard work?
I wanted to sort this book myself. The term mover doesn't know the difference between a dictionary and a text. This thing.
You really love books, don't you? It's like a It's like a small library down here. No wonder Mom never wanted to come down.
You know what your mother said about these books?
No.
These books are a shotin. You know what a shotin means?
Shotin? What's that?
Well, you're better off not knowing it.
You know, Dad, I don't think you should have let Mom go to India now.
So what are you talking about? You know how sick your Dadu is. If she shouldn't have gone now, when do you think she could have gone to India? Isn't Dadu more important than our packing and move?
But Dadu's okay now.
Somu, Dadu is feeling a little better, maybe because your mother is there with him. At 85 years of age with severe pulmonary disorder, staying well, feeling better is rather unusual. You should let your mother stay with your Dadu during his final moments. I should have been there too. Somu, Don't you feel like seeing your Dadu once at this time?
Dadu always cried. When we first arrived in Kolkata and again when we left.
Yes, Dadu loves you very much. Loves you very much. So, won't you be able to go to Kolkata even for a few days?
Dad, you know it's impossible. I have tests and final exams coming up.
Yeah, you are right, you are right. You got to do what you got to do. Nah, I can't have this terrible coffee anymore. I need some beer.
Hey, alright, beer. That'll be great.
Young man, you are not yet 21. No beer for you?
Come on, Dad. It's 1 month away. Be a sport.
Okay. Do your work right and think about it, alright?
Alright.
I know, I'll go to the corner store, liquor store and get a six-pack, alright? Hey, you keep working, don't relax.
Oh, hey, Miller Lite for me.
Miller Lite, shut up. Heineken is the best.
Complete fool of myself. Where do we classify this box? Diary. Power grows from the barrel of a gun. This seems like explosive stuff. January 12th, 1967. Armed revolution is the only solution.
Chalu Majumdar is right. Passive socialism can never be an illusion. The path demonstrated by Comrade Mao and Lean Power is the only path. Power grows from the barrel of a gun.
February 2nd, 1967. Comrade Charu Majumdar.
Comrade Charu Majumdar, what a charismatic personality. His eyes, I have never seen such deep, glaring eyes. Who could have thought that this brave man had so much power? This is indeed a historic day for me. Thank you, B. Thank you for introducing me to this great leader.
B? Who's B?
It is amazing how clear Comrade Majumdar's thoughts are. He has the perfect vision. We need to rise from the grassroots level, one step at a time. He says Comrade Charu Majumdar wants to win one village at a time, one small liberated village at a time, and gradually surround the cities with these liberated regions. Cities should be our final frontier. We should fight with whatever arms we can get our hands on.
February 24th, 1967. Today, B and S had a fight.
Today, B and S had a fight. A fight of what? S is still not convinced that the poor peasants of Bengal can fight against an organized army of police. B believes China will help us with arms and logistical support.
March 3rd, 1967. Today is a historic day.
Today is a historic day. Naxalbari Zindabad! Long live Naxalbari! For the first time, a small group of peasants of Naxalbari snatched away their land from their oppressing landlords. They didn't have any guns. Only a few bows and arrows and a few axes were enough. I wonder what can be achieved with guns and other firearms. Comrade Charu Majumdar Zindabad! Yes, yes, Dr. Agui.
June 28th, 1967. Radio China?
Radio China made a historic announcement today. They acknowledged the Naxalbari incident. The Chinese Communist Party now fully supports our actions. We will not be suppressed by anyone.
February 13th, 1969. Annihilation of the class enemy is a must.
Annihilation of the class enemy is a must? We believe that Comrade Mao's thoughts are absolutely correct. Even I do have some doubts. Theories and policies that are applicable in China may not work in India. What good are we achieving by killing a few poor, frail police constables and college professors? I need to talk to B more about this.
May 10th, 1969. Tonight I participated in my first action.
Tonight I participated in my first action. Can't say it was entirely successful. The bomb hit the police station walls, but I don't think it caused any significant damage. B and M were with me, but I was very nervous. Nevertheless, I am becoming quite an expert in making bombs.
আমার সোনার হরিণ চাই, আমার সোনার হরিণ চাই, তোরা যে যা বলিস ভাই, আমার সোনার হরিণ চাই। লা 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 লা.
Hey, what are you reading? The movers should be here anymore. What are you reading? Can I see it? Where did you get that? Give it to me.
Hey Dad, is this yours? I mean, is this you?
Somu, give me the diary.
But Dad, I mean, this is really explosive stuff. Is this your handwriting?
Somu, I'm not going to answer any of your questions. Just give me the diary now.
I will, as soon as I'm done reading it, I promise.
Somu, I said give me the damn diary! Now!
Okay! You don't have to yell at me.
Somu, you're old enough to know that you shouldn't be reading somebody's personal diary without his permission.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a diary, but the first sentence grabbed my attention. I mean, what a line. Power grows from the barrel of a gun. Hey Dad, whose line was that, Dad? Mao Zedong. You mean the guy who was the premier of China?
He was the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party.
So, this is your diary, right? Yes! Yes! I knew it! I knew it! God, that's so cool. I could have never imagined you as a communist. I mean, not to a revolutionary one. Hey Dad, are you still a communist?
Not a communist. I was never a communist. It was only a few crazy women of the youth.
Come on, Dad. You don't have to hide. I mean, the stuff you talk about in that diary is explosive. Dad, you talk about real action. I mean, you made bombs, right? Come on, Dad. Tell me, please. Dad.
Somu, I told you it was nothing but a wild phase of my youth. A few crazy friends of mine pulled me into this political fantasy. Just sort of romanticism, nothing more.
Hey, Dad. Can I make a request? You can't say no to me.
What?
Can I have the diary? Please? I'll give it back to you the moment I finish reading it. I promise. Please, Dad. Have pity on your only son.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give you the diary. Only on one condition. Okay? You got to promise that you are not going to show it to anyone else.
Promise.
Not even to your mother.
I won't give it to you with heart and with soul. I promise.
Okay, you can have
Thanks, Dad. You know, Dad, I was thinking, the few pages I read, they sound really good for a great book. So, if I like it, I might take it to the publisher I know, okay?
Hey, you are trying to be smart now, huh? Give me back my diary.
As soon as I finish reading it.
Where do you think you are going? Don't you have to pack these books? The movers will be here very soon.
To the bathroom. I hope there's some toilet paper left.
Looking for something, Subimal?
Is it? Ashko. Is that you? How are you here?
Why can't I be here? Well, just because you deserted me, that doesn't mean I have to leave you too, right?
Deserted you? What are you talking about? You are...
Hey, you're right. Maybe you haven't been able to get rid of me completely. So, after all these years, when our past has suddenly come back in front of us, maybe it's time that we had a little chat too, shouldn't we?
What are you talking about, Ashko? What do you mean we should have a little chat? You don't exist. You are dead.
Ah, that hurts, Subimal. You really think that I have no existence in your life, huh?
No, you don't. It's impossible.
But if your son, Somu, asks the same question, what are you going to answer to him?
How can Somu ask such question? He doesn't know anything.
Well, he may not know now. You know what? He will come to know soon. You yourself gave him the diary, didn't you?
The diary doesn't have anything in it.
Really?
I mean, the diary doesn't have anything in it.
Subimal, can I ask you something?
What?
Did you really want to forget your past? I mean, you want to wipe it clean, completely?
Yes, I did. Of course I did want to forget those days. Who in his right mind would like to remember those terrible days?
Then why did you preserve those diaries of yours, huh? I mean, why didn't you destroy them all?
Believe me, Bhaskar, I tried. I wanted to burn down everything, my entire past. I did some too, but you know how the damn diary survived.
The diary or the diaries, Subimal?
The diary, Bhaskar, the diary, not the diary.
Okay. You don't have to get so excited. You know what? You haven't changed a bit. You are still the same.
I'm still the same.
Huh?
What are you talking about? 34 years, Bhaskar, 34 long years have gone by since we have last met. When was that?
1971.
1971. How much do you know? How much change I have been through?
Yeah. Of course you have changed. You are no longer the proletarian people's soldier you used to be. Now you are an accomplished executive of corporate America. You own this large and beautiful house, and if I'm not wrong, Subimal, you are moving into a larger one, right? Your garage boasts of Lexus, Infinity. You drink nothing other than single malt whiskey, huh? You're right. There is no match between Subimal of today and Subimal of 60s. That young man wearing those tattered sandals and carrying that yellow cloth side bag.
Bhaskar, please go away. Please go away. Please leave me alone. I'm pleading you. Forgive me for whatever I have done, whatever mistakes I have made. Just go. Please relieve me.
Relieve you, huh? Me? Subimal, you very well know that I am not the one to relieve you. You remember that action that we had in Deborah? It was 1969. It was month of September. You were there. The landlord of Deborah was annihilated in that action. That man too, just before he was being shot, was crying and pleading, "Please forgive me, please relieve me." That night, Subimal, you yourself said that we are not the ones to pardon him. He has to pardon himself first.
I was never involved in such an action. I didn't kill anybody.
Did I ever say that you killed Subimal? We all knew that you can at the best help us in making bombs, nothing more. Time and again it was proved that you never had the nerves to participate in the annihilation movement. You know what? You were really strong in one area though.
What was that?
Theory? I mean, you really understood the theoretical aspect of the movement. I should agree. You also had the skills to convince others. Although it was I who pulled you into this politics, I never had any inclination towards theory. Your writing attracted CM's attention.
CM?
Huh?
Chalu?
Huh?
Is that my voice?
Yes, of course. You did write quite a few articles in the Liberation Journal under some pen name, right? Don't you have any copies?
No, I don't.
Really? You don't have any copies like that? Maybe if we look around, some copies may appear suddenly from nowhere, just like that diary of
They
yours.
won't! They won't! My father found them all. It was all a mistake, God, it was all wrong! Whatever I wrote was wrong, whatever everybody wrote was all wrong.
A mistake? All wrong, huh? Didn't you yourself once wrote that we acquired a fake independence? Our nation is nothing but a semi-colony of the British imperialism. Was that wrong, Subimal? Then how could you say to your son that British granted India its independence like charity, huh? India didn't acquire it?
But God, you are taking things out of context.
Out of context, huh? Well, I may have to agree with you on this. I mean, on this day, standing on American soil. I know those words don't sound right. Young man who once wrote that we need to fight uncompromisingly against all sorts of revisionism. I'm curious, Subimal. I'm curious to know how much revision and transformation has that same young man been through himself, huh?
God, why are you accusing me? Why? Didn't the party itself transform? Didn't the party itself later declare that our policies and methods are not all perfect? Didn't they confess that they are incorrect in judging the time, in sensing the pulse of the people? Didn't they say that annihilation of the class enemy was not the only approach towards revolution?
I'm not here to listen about the party, Subimal. I'm here to listen about you. Yes. No revolution is perfect. I mean, no political movement is free of mistake. Yes, the party made few mistakes too, and now they are trying to recover from those mistakes at the cost of thousands of young men and women's lives. Let's not get into that. Today I'm here to listen to you. So tell me, Subimal, have you recovered from your mistakes? Did you achieve your redemption, your freedom? Has revisionism been able to purify you of your flaws and imperfections? Tell me.
Mistakes? Redemption? What are you talking about, Bhaskar? Freedom from what?
Isn't that strange, Subimal? I mean, you are here, standing on the land of freedom. And I am the one who is asking you whether you have acquired your freedom or not. Huh? Isn't that ironic? You know what? Let's drop this unpleasant subject. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about you. Tell me, Subimal, are you happy with your life? By the way, I really liked your son, huh? Seems to be a great kid. very smart, very intelligent. Although he grew up in America, still he seems to be quite updated on world affairs. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's a junior at Harvard.
Harvard, eh? That's good. But you know, I'm not surprised. After all, men do take after their uncles, especially from the mother's side, don't they?
Sure. Please excuse me. I'm very busy today. The movers will be here any moment.
Ah, the movers, yeah? Of course. By the way, Subimal, how many times have you moved since you left India? About 10, right? How long will you keep running away, Subimal? For how long?
Who says I'm running away? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not running away from anything.
Not even from your own past?
No, not at all.
Dad, is everything all right? Everything okay?
Everything is fine.
But
Okay.
where did all these books come from? You break another box.
No, Somu, no. Everything is fine, Somu. It's all right.
Hey, Dad, are you looking for something?
What?
I said, are you looking for something?
No, Somu, I'm not looking for it. I'm not looking for it. By the way, Somu, are you finished with the diary? Can I have it back?
Oh, yes, you know, it was just unputdownable. I never knew you had such an exciting past.
And quite a bloody past too.
Well, yeah, a bit bloody too. I mean, you tried to be subtle in your text, but I could tell your armed struggle was not all the, Gandhian type. Hey, Dad, did you ever have to kill anyone?
No, I never killed it. Never.
Well, if your bomb didn't miss the target, you couldn't have made such a claim today, huh?
Well, you yourself may not have killed anyone, but you must have been indirectly responsible for a few of those annihilation operations, right?
Why are you silent? Answer it. Weren't you responsible for any of those deaths?
Could I be responsible? Why should I be responsible? The party should be, the leader should be. We are just following our orders. So,
But Dad, did you really feel that that armed revolution was the only means to achieve socialism? What made you folks believe that annihilation of the class enemy was the only means to achieve social justice?
Well, Mr. Theoretician, why don't you answer to your son, huh? I mean, why don't you read him some paragraphs from that explosive writing of yours?
it was a mistake. A huge mistake.
A mistake? You say this now?
No, I realized this long time ago. I made a colossal mistake.
When, Subimal? I mean, when did you have this realization?
But your diary doesn't say so. I mean, is there any more of your diaries? There must be. This one seems incomplete, and it ends sometime in early 1971.
Is that so? Subimal, do you have any other diaries?
Somu, no, there is no other diary. No other diary.
But Dad, how did this all end? I mean, there must have been some conclusion.
July 28, 1972. Everything stopped.
What? What happened on July 28th?
Come on, Subimal, tell him. They should know. Tell him what happened.
Charu Majumdar died.
That's all? Shouldn't you tell Somu how he died? Or are you too scared to tell him, huh?
He was killed by the police. They tortured him to death in his prison cell. His body was not even handed over to the family members.
Charu Majumdar, you mentioned him several times in your diary. He was a leader of this entire movement, right?
Somu, why do you want to know all this? Why? What did you get out of this?
Dad, what are you talking about? This is our history. Look, I know the 60s were an interesting time, okay? In Europe, in America, in Asia. The youth of the entire world was rising up to bring in a real change. But I never knew that in India, that in Bengal, that there was a similar uprising. Looking at you and your other Bengali friends, and from my trips to Kolkata, I could never imagine that Bengalis could rise up to a revolution, let alone an armed revolution. Your diary totally changed my perspective, Dad. I need to know more, Dad. I need to know more.
Subimal, don't stay mum. He wants to know. Tell him and tell him everything. For your own sake, Subimal, for your own freedom, tell Somu everything.
No, I can't. I won't. What freedom are you talking about, Bhaskar? I don't need any freedom. I'm not going to say anything to Somu.
But Dad, please, look, I want to know, Dad. I need to know, Dad.
Somu, there are several books on this subject. Why don't you get them and you get to know everything? I don't know much about this anyway.
But you've lived the experience. How can you say that you don't know anything? Here. Here. You talk about the Hosipur Barnagar massacre. What's that? And what are these encounter killings?
Well, are you sure you don't want to say something? Your son, your next generation is challenging you and still want to keep your lips sealed? I'm really disappointed, Subimal. You've become such a coward. It's disgraceful.
It was a bloodbath in Kashipur and Boranagar. They killed any man they could lay their hands on. Young men, teens, boys. They poured kerosene on the elderly and burnt them alive.
Don't stop, Subimal, don't stop. Tell him what happened to Comrade Pachu Gopalde and Comrade Karuna Sarkar. Tell him.
Comrade Pachu Gopalde's arms and legs were cut into pieces before they killed him. And Comrade Karuna Sarkar was... No, I can't say anymore, I'm sorry.
You will have to say, Subimal, you must say.
Sorry, I can't.
Tell him that Comrade Karuna Sarkar was stripped naked.
Karuna Sarkar was stripped naked.
With a sharp sword, they cut into her breasts the
sharp
letters
sword.
CPIML.
They cut into her breasts the letters CPIML.
Who did this, Dad? That's an outright violation of human rights. Who did this?
Are you too ashamed to name the murderer, Subimal? Too ashamed?
The police
And?
the Gundas of the opposition political parties.
Well, what are these encounter killings?
If the police suspected any young man or even a teenage boy as an Naxalite, they'll pick them up from their home without any warrant or any sort of charges. Then they'll pick them up in their police van and drive them to a desolate area. And then they will ask them to run away. As they try to run away, police shoot them from behind. The newspapers next day will read the usual carry small entry saying that a few insurgents were killed in a police encounter.
But Dad, that's inhuman brutality. And after all this, you say that it was a mistake? That all these young men and women gave their lives for nothing? That it was all futile? Excuse me, Dad, I have to take this.
Bravo, Somu, bravo. Subimal, if young folks like Somu can understand our sacrifice, we are successful to a large extent, aren't we? Come on, Subimal, say something.
No, Bhaskar, no, Somu cannot understand. He cannot understand. He may appreciate our struggle. He may even sympathize. But he cannot understand. It's impossible for him to understand.
I did not understand.
Even you did not understand, huh? How could you say that?
Oh, no.
Your writings in the Liberation Journal, your diaries, they don't seem to say so.
Oh, Bhaskar, no, I did not understand. I did not understand. If I did, then how could I?
Hey, Dad. This reminds me. Wasn't Mama, Ma's elder brother, wasn't he involved in something like this? Wasn't he killed in a police encounter?
How do you know this, Sean? How do you know this?
Well, Ma told me a long time ago. One day I found her crying with a photograph in her hands. She said that Mama, was a political activist and that he was killed in a police encounter. You know, but that's all she said. She never gave me any real details. His name was...
Bhaskar.
Right, Pashkar. Means son. She told me that too. She said that was the day that he died. But the day...
August 26th. Today's day.
That's right, my God. What a coincidence. I can't believe it. Hey Dad, do you have this photograph? We have to commemorate this day.
No, I don't have any photograph of Bhaskar. Yeah, your mother may have, but they must be upstairs in a packing box. All
I think I know where it is. Let me get it. Hey Dad, do you remember before when I was telling you about Dadu and how he used to hug me and cry whenever he saw me? I remember now what he'd say. He'd mumble, Pashkar. I realize now that he was uttering Mama's name.
Dadu was devastated. He could never recover from the loss of his only son.
Hey Dad, you knew Pashkar Mama, right? Do I look like him? Is there any resemblance?
No, I don't see resemblance. I don't see any resemblance.
Take a good look, Subimal. Don't you see any similarities, any resemblance?
Well, Mom used to say that at certain angles I looked like Pashkar Mama. Anyway, let me try and get the photo.
So you really think that there is no similarity between me and Somu, huh?
No, Bhaskar, no, there is no similarity between you and Somu. He is a completely different person.
Maybe, but having similarities with one's own uncle is not unusual. Don't you think? What are you looking for, Subimal?
Looking for nothing.
Why are you trying to deny yourself? Why? You must be really scared, right? Scared that your son may discover your true self? You are scared that if he finds out the truth, you may fall from his grace and respect, isn't it? Tell me the truth.
Yes, I'm scared. I am scared. The facts that have been buried under this life of comfort and luxury for all this time. Why do they have to surface now after all this time? Why? Somu doesn't have to know all this nonsense. I'm never going to write the second diary for him.
Aha, then you admit that there is a second diary, huh?
Yes, there is. That is the most dangerous one. I'll destroy it right away. I'll burn it into ashes. Both these diaries used to be together here. Both in the same place. Both of them.
And what is it that you wrote in this diary? Confessions of a traitor? They tortured you bad, didn't they? In the police lockup? Must be really painful.
When they started pulling out my fingernails, I couldn't hold up anymore. I couldn't think straight. I told him everything. I broke down. I confessed.
Suspected this might happen. You wouldn't be able to hold out long under the severe torture. We knew, Subimal, we knew that you would give them all our secrets.
Bhaskar, I lied to them. That's when I told them that you were hiding in Mauritius, in Shomir's uncle's house. You are supposed to take shelter in Habra, right?
Yes, that was the plan. At the last moment, we changed our plan just because of you and went to Mauritius. We were afraid that you wouldn't be able to keep your mouth shut for long. But how could we forget? I mean, how could we forget that you knew about our Mauritius hideout too?
But believe me, Bhaskar, I tried to confuse and misguide the police. That's why I told them about Mauritius.
Subimal. It hardly matters whether you said Habra or Mauritius. If police couldn't have found us in Habra, they would have tortured you again and you would have told them about Mauritius. So what you said doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is you failed our trust. You had sworn to secrecy, Subimal. You had promised that under any circumstances, even under severe torture, you will never reveal any party secrets. You will never jeopardize the safety of your comrades. You broke your promise. You betrayed us.
I'm sorry, Bhaskar. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Please forgive me. Please. I'm carrying this burden of enormous guilt all through my life. Please relieve me.
Relieve you, huh? Maybe. After all, you did not forget me completely. I mean, you fled to America, but you did take good care of my father. You married my sister Chandrima. For those reasons, yes. For those reasons, at least, you deserve some forgiveness. Even I couldn't have done so much for them. But Subimal, even if I forgive you, will Shomir, will Bijon, will Bhanu, will they forgive you? It was them whom I saw falling before me.
Shomir, Bijon, Bhanu.
Yes. Around dawn, the police came and surrounded our head out in Mauritius. There was no point in fighting. We surrendered. They handcuffed us and put us in a dark police van. About an hour later, the van suddenly stopped and they asked us to get off. Then they removed our handcuffs and ordered us to land. Encounter! Initially we were confused and hesitated a bit. The police officer raised his revolver and yelled at us, "Run or I'll shoot!" I started running on the railway tracks. I remember I was running towards the east because the sun was rising, the sky was turning crimson red, and suddenly at my right, I saw Bhanu stumble and fall onto his face. I didn't hear any sound. He saw blood oozing out of his back. I turned around and saw the police officer aiming at Shomir. He pulled the trigger twice. The bullet missed. The second bullet hit Shomir. I started running again and saw Bijon to lying on the ground. I thought if I could get off the track, he wouldn't be able to aim at me so easily. And at that moment I felt something hitting my back like a huge truck. It threw me to the ground. The bullet hit my back and pierced right away into my heart.
Please stop it, Bhaskar. Please stop it. I cannot take this anymore. Please have pity on me, Bhaskar. Please have pity.
Okay, Subimal. You know what? I'll stop. I won't say anymore. But Subimal, can you please explain to me something? I could never figure out this puzzle. How did the police release you, huh? I mean, I understand that you had confessed and given them enough information about us. But still, the police had enough charges against you. You had no trial, no jail term, nothing. You got out scot-free. How was that possible, Subimal? How was that possible? I never knew that our lives were so precious that police agreed to give you such a great deal.
Do you want to destroy me completely? Won't you let me hide my worst shame?
Come on, Subimal. Why hide such a small issue, huh? Today is your day of revelation. Come on, tell me! Tell me, why did the police release you? Tell me!
My mom, my father.
Your father, huh? But your father had some connections with the police commissioner, didn't he?
Yeah, he was my father's schoolmate. He told my father, if I gave you names and all your other details, he will arrange for my release. My father tried to convince me a lot. But at this moment, at that moment, my mother was so very sick. So, and my father just came out of him asking how to die. I couldn't hold up anymore. I told them everything.
Now I understand. And as soon as you got out of the police lockup, your father dispatched you to America, right?
Yes. Initially, for a few days, I stayed in Bombay. Then to USA for a couple more weeks. Then the UK. I didn't know about you guys till I was in the UK. All I was told that you guys were arrested, that's all.
Yes. We got caught and you became free.
You're right. At that moment, I could only think of running away. Running away from you all. Running away from my country, my society, my community, and everything that I know. From that day, for every single moment, I tried to forget you. And the more I tried to forget you, the more you came alive in my life. Every day of my life, every day. I remembered those days of my life. And my guilt burnt me down into a pile of ashes, my Lord.
It is necessary, Subimal, absolutely necessary to burn down to ashes. For it is only from these ashes, just like the legendary phoenix, a new self can be reborn.
Dad! You're a betrayer, Dad. You killed Mama. You killed Pashka.
Somu, believe me, I didn't kill
You're a liar!
I didn't kill
You're a liar! You wrote it yourself in this diary. God, how can you deny it?
Where did you find this diary? Somu, where did you find this diary?
It was with this photograph. In this envelope. God, it was hidden in Ma's box.
So Chundrima had this diary for all this time? So Chundrima knows everything? Bhaskar, Chundrima knows everything. What's going to happen, Bhaskar? Chundrima knows everything.
Of course, she knows everything. I'm just amazed that she could live with you after knowing the fact that you murdered her own brother.
Somu, believe me, I didn't kill Bhaskar, believe me. The police killed him in a false encounter. Look, I wrote this. Here,
Stop it.
Look at this.
Stop it. Stop it! Does it matter who pulled the trigger? If you hadn't squealed to the police, Bhaskar Mama could have survived. Bhaskar Mama and his friends. Or should I say, your comrades.
Somu, tried. They tried my best. They crushed my ribs. I kept my mouth shut. They stuck burning cigarette butts on my neck. I didn't utter a word. When they started pulling out my fingernails, I couldn't hold up anymore. I couldn't hold up. Told them everything. I told them everything.
Cannot be an excuse. The fact is you realized the deal your father had made with the police was too good to pass up. You just jumped on the opportunity and fled to America. God, I can't believe it.
Somu, I accept all your charges. I plead guilty to all my crimes. I tried all my life to pay for my sins, to free myself of this enormous guilt.
Did you think that by marrying Ma, Pashkar's sister, what, you achieved some kind of redemption? What, you threw a few dollars at your father-in-law's face and that paid for his loss?
Somu, no, I know my mistakes cannot be forgiven, but please don't take me.
Don't touch me! God, I hate myself. I hate that I'm the son of a coward, of a betrayer. How can I stand in front of Dadu now? What shall I tell him? Come, Dadu, give me a hug. Hug the son of your son's murderer.
Somu, please don't say that. Please don't say that. Your Dadu doesn't know anything. Nobody knows, except for my father, and he died after 2 years of the incident.
But Dad, I know. Mom knows. How can I live with this burden? I wish I'd never opened that diary.
Somu, I warned him. I warned him. He didn't listen to me. I warned him not to dig any further, and he didn't listen to me. I was afraid of this. This was my worst nightmare. Came true.
Dad, I can't live with you anymore. I'm leaving.
Somu, stop! Somu, stop! Somu, don't leave me alone! Please don't leave me alone! My Somu left me alone. My Somu left me alone.
I think you should let him go, Subimal. He needs time to reconcile and find answers to the questions that are burning within him.
Pushkar, I'm terribly miserable. I'm terribly miserable. I'm a coward in Somu's eyes. I belittle myself in front of you. I'm damned ashamed, Pushkar. I'm damned ashamed. And what about Chandrima? Chandrima knew everything. She never gave me a hint. I could never suspect. I know she hates me. She must hate me. I know she hates me. But what will happen now, Pushkar? What am I supposed to do? Why did I keep this diary for all this time? Why didn't I burn it to ashes?
Because these diaries will only help you to achieve your redemption. Just like the phoenix, you will rise from the ashes of your old guilt to your new life, Subimal.
What are you talking about, Pushkar?
read this page from your diary, Subimal. Read what Chandrima has written down in that diary.
Subimal, while you were away on a business trip to Germany, I was cleaning the basement. Suddenly I came across your diary. As soon as I opened it, I saw Bhashkar Brothers name and couldn't help reading it. Now I wish I had never opened that diary. For 3 nights in a row, I couldn't sleep at all. I cried continuously, holding my Dada's picture in my hand. I felt tremendous hatred towards you and myself whenever I thought that I had spent all these years of my life with my brother's murderer. An overwhelming feeling of shame, anger and hatred engulfed me completely. Once I even thought of leaving you, leaving this house and running far, far away. All that logic, those excuses and rationalizations that you wrote in that diary seemed like meaningless lies. I felt that you had married me only as a penance for your guilt and to have pity on my family. It was so humiliating. At that very moment, you called me from Germany. You sounded so excited from the visit to the Prince of the Berlin Wall. And then, after many, many years, you mentioned Dada's name, Bhashkar's name. You said if you could have shown Bhashkar this broken wall, you would have grabbed him and told him, "Take a look, Bhashkar. Take a good look at these ruins. It is the people who have torn it down to pieces. Communism does not mean anything to these people. Until and unless we are able to tear down this wall of pride and prejudice within ourselves, we will never be able to achieve a classless society." You sacrificed your life for nothing. I could hear your voice choking in the sound. And at that instant, I forgave you. I realized that you have been suffering your entire life for a mistake that was unintentional. I realized that you were going through a horrible torture, a torture possibly worse than what you had to go through in your prison cell. I also realized that because of this guilt, you have never been able to forgive Dada. But it became very clear to me that your only reason for marrying me was to come even closer to Bhashkar. You kept Bhashkar alive at every moment of your life, whereas I, Bhashkar's own sister, was about to forget him. Today, I have no complaints against you. You have punished yourself more than enough for your past mistakes. I have no desire or right to punish you anymore. But if you had only confessed to me earlier, if you had explained the situation better, maybe then You could have relieved yourself of this guilt much earlier. Maybe you didn't want that. So, I'm not going to say anything to you anymore. But I'm writing down my thoughts in your diary. If someday you get a chance to read this, even if I'm not there, you might be able to console yourself.
Bhashkar, am I destined to make mistake all my life? Why didn't I tell Chundrima earlier? Why didn't I confess?
Because you were scared? You were scared that if you told her, you may have to lose her. And along with her, you may have to
lose you. Chundrima is right, Bhashkar. Chundrima is right. I may have married her to stay closer to you, such that I could never forget you. Never forget you. I wanted to see Bhashkar's reflection in Chundrima and Somu.
For that reason, I too could never leave you. But now I have a feeling that you don't require me anymore.
What are you talking about?
Turn around, Subimal. You will understand.
Somu, will you really leave me alone?
Dad. Dad.
Somu, I know you hate me. I know you hate me. You have every reason to hate me. Give me whatever punishment you want. I will not protest a bit. Please, please don't leave me alone. Please don't leave me alone.
Dad. Did it hurt a lot when they tortured you? It must have been very painful.
It was very painful, Somu. It hurt so much that I couldn't think straight. I made a huge mistake. I hate myself. I hate myself.
No, Dad, please, Dad. Please don't feel so bad. I was wrong. How can any man retain his sanity under such severe and inhuman torture? It wasn't your fault.
It was not my fault.
No, Dad, it can't be. Those beasts coerced the statements out of you. Even the toughest of men would have broke down under such torture. If Bhashkar Mama were there, he would have done the same thing. I'm sorry, Dad. Please forgive me.
How could you say that, John? How could you say that? Even Bhashkar would.
It's not just my word. Ma said the same thing. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Is that true, Bhashkar? Is that true? You have broken down under their torture? Bhashkar, answer me! Bhashkar! Bhashkar, would you?
I don't know. I never had the chance to test my tolerance for pain. Every human being has a threshold. I had it too.
Dad, you've got to promise me something.
But Somu, please tell me. I promise I'll do anything you tell me to do. I'll do anything.
You'll have to write about this. About yourself. About Bhaskar Mama. About those tumultuous days of Bengal. You have to let the whole world know the sacrifices that these young men and women made for the sake of their ideology. Why are you trying to judge yourself? Let the whole world be the judge. Let them decide whether you're right or wrong.
Somu, will I succeed? Will I be able to do justice to my comrades?
Of course you will. You've got to do it. You owe it to yourself, to Bhaskar Mama, to your friends, to your comrades.
Dad,
this is your only path to redemption.
Bhaskar, I found my path to redemption. I found my path, Bhaskar. I found my path. Bhaskar, I'll write about you. I'll write about us. I'll write about our deaths. I'll write about us.
You're acting just like Dadu. Dad, I'm flying to Kolkata tomorrow. I think that Dadu would like to have Bhaskar at his side one last time.
You're absolutely right, Somu. You're absolutely right. Take me along with you. I should be on the other side too. I should be your side too. Please take me along, please. Let my redemption start with you.